One thing I've learned about life so far is that you have to accept the fact that all that matters is where you're going. You know, if you focusing on everybody else's situations and what everybody else got going on in their life, you lose focus on what you got going on in your life. This is why I understand why some people, man, they just go MIA. They just kind of fall off the grid. You don't know where they living at. You don't know how they doing. You don't even know how they look like. Like, some people really have just really understood that you got to disconnect from everything sometimes to get your shit together. And it's hard because you're going to have people talking shit about you because you're not following the program. You know, you are going against society's norm. And it's just one of those things where you follow the sheep. You're going to always follow the sheep. Where are they even going? Nowhere. They going to go where the other sheep are at. People don't want to disconnect from things that they know because they're so scared of being in unfamiliar territory. In life, you got to realize that ain't nobody going to pick you up when you fall down. This life is cold. And at the same time, you got to keep yourself warm. See, a lot of things that I've done throughout my life, I've realized to some people, I may have came off very cold and harsh, very detached, very inconsiderate of their feelings and how they felt. But at the time, I had no choice because I was self-destructing. I was falling apart. And when I was going through that, did nobody pull me to the side and ask me how I was doing or if I needed something or nothing. People don't care. So you have to care. And when you start caring, they start caring about why you not caring about them. So at the end of the day, you can't be out here following the sheep, thinking that you're doing somebody some service because you're making them feel good about themselves because they're insecure. The moment you step out of following the sheep and trying to be a part of whatever you're trying to be a part of to make yourself look a certain kind of way, once you fall in line with the reality of, look, I get one life. I want to try something different. I know who I'm currently around is probably not going to accept it. They're going to probably scrutinize it. They're going to probably think I'm just weird. So in order for me to do that, I have to disconnect from them. I have to be okay with disregarding how they feel, disregarding what they may think of me, disregarding what they may say behind my back about me. But the funniest thing about it is that when you start to go up, in your life, and they start hearing shit through the grapevine about you, they become even more curious on what you did. How did you do it? And when you tell them all you really did was lock in with yourself and stop hanging around they fucking ass, then it's like, oh, whoa. What did I do? No, you didn't do nothing. And that's exactly why I went my separate ways. Because I got my life together because nobody around me was doing nothing. So I did something. And I became something as a byproduct of that. If you're scared to change, you cannot be mad at your life staying the same. Because it's your fault. With everything going on in the world right now, you cannot afford to fold. When opportunities present itself, you need to go for it. You got nothing to lose. You fail, that's all right. You fail, it happens. Not going for it, not even trying is the worst failure. Because you never will know. Now you'll never know. Now you got to live with that feeling of you'll never know. So it's like, it's all up to you. You are going to have to take your life more fucking serious and stop bullshitting with people, expecting validation from people, expecting people to be on board with you with every fucking thing you think about. Be a boss for once in your life. Be a leader and do what the fuck you want to do. Create your life. because they're going to want to be a part of your life anyway. When you have a life to be a part of, that's when people come into your life. When you don't have a life to be a part of, don't nobody want to be around you. So who gives a fuck? Just do you. Cut people off. Fuck their feelings. At least for right now. And get your life in order. You got to get your money up. You got to get your body right. You got to get yourself connected to God more. You got to get your family issues in line. You got to get yourself in line. This is your responsibility. And I'm telling myself this too, because I got to do better. You can't sit around worrying about what somebody going to think if you go left and they want to go, everybody going right, you want to go left. Look at him. Why he going left? He hella weird. He hella stupid. Why he going left? You go left, you come back with a fortune. Now they looking like, how'd you get that? Man, because I went left, nigga. That's why. I did my own thing, nigga. That's why. I figured out how to make it work, nigga. That's why. You got to have that kind of energy. You got to be a little bit arrogant with your life. Like, this is my shit. I run this. I'm going to make the best of this motherfucker. You got to have that mindset. That trying to be nice and don't want to step on nobody's toes and shit, that don't get you far in life. That don't get you far in life. You got to be able to be like, I'm going to do this. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. I'm going to talk my shit. I'm going to get this. This is mine. I'm already going to claim it. You got to be like that mentally. All that scary shit for the birds, man. Real shit. We ain't got time to waste, man. It's getting too real out here, man. You got nothing to lose. You better go for that shit. Straight up.